The Pistons are the basketball champions of the world.
Detroit, it's time. It's playoff time, Detroit. Let's go to work.
Shout out Detroit. I got to buff up, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
What's up, Pistons fans? Successful week going down. We're here to talk about it. Let's dive right in. We had the Thunder, the Cavs, and the Magic. Two tough games this week, and one team that's extremely fraudulent. Let's just start it up, Gabe. What's your big anything from this week that you want to start talking about here? Let's just chat it up.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
agenda.
apart from teams intentionally resting guys against us so they don't get beat up, I think I have to start with JD taking the next step post All-Star game and just absolutely manhandling everybody that's in front of him. OKC was without their two main bigs, so he had a field day against those guys. And then kind of the opposite, Cleveland had their two bigs, but they're just both, I don't know, they seemed way too skinny, way too small. JD was just moving them. He had patience. They were on the floor a lot. JD was just pushing them around. It seemed like his polish, his strength, his conditioning, and like his knowledge of where to be has really, it's kind of all connected now. Maybe, I don't know, Jokic or I don't know what other great bigs there were last All-Star game kind of got in his head a little bit. But yeah,
on that,
he's just been awesome.
Since the All-Star break, he's been averaging 25.8 points per game, 13.6 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. An offensive rating of 142 and a defensive rating of 104.
Yeah,
that
not
is
to mention his defense, right?
insane impact.
And that's also with a 16 and 10 game. They're kind of deflating
Yeah,
the statistics.
dragging him down a little bit. But his progression, let's just go on a little Jalen Duren praising session real quick. His progression has been absolutely insane. I mean, there were a couple times over the past couple of years where we were a little worried that this was Andre Drummond 2.0 because he would take a soft layup every once in a while or a little post move. The difference is that he makes like all of these shots. He had a sick move against the Magic last night where he's like moving almost full speed from the right side of the court to the left side of the court, little spin, lefty hook down. And it's just those shots are extremely regular for him. It's not just the insane power game, which like Gabe, you said it in the chat. I think you just said now he's just ragdolling two of the better defensive bigs in the NBA and Jared Allen.
Defensive player of the year last year.
Oh yeah, D-boy Evan Mobley. Just like you're not big enough remotely. You don't match up physically at all. And along with that, just great hands, catches absolutely everything, and the touch on these shots around the rim is just incredible. And if he does miss it, I mean, he's getting his own rebound. I feel like that's happened a couple of times. He tosses a bad shot up, he gets his own board, he's in better position, and he just slams it all over the defenders that were around him. Yeah, just praise JD a little bit more. Let's hear some JD praise.
Valley, anything to add? Because that spin move he had against, I think it was Cleveland, where he spun and kind of went up and under with the right-hand layup.
I was going to say
amazing as well.
I have 3 little notes on this. One is his deeper bag of finishes. It's a wide array of finishes he's presenting right now, and it's an incredible sequence sometimes leading up to it. You mentioned the double clutch up and under with the soft touch. Nice reverse game on Jalen Duren. He likes to still dunk the ball a lot. But he's been finishing really good with that left hand a lot too. He likes to get kind of that left hand hook, almost kind of like Jaren Jackson-esque, how he likes to finish with the left inside. JD seems to be really accurate getting to his left hand hook shot. But one other thing, or I guess one thing I want to say about it in particular is his ability to draw contact. I would hate to play against it because he's gigantic and he barges into you, and he's shooting double-digit free throws and making them consistently. Really, really good sign right there. I think to always be a source of points when you're getting to the line shooting 10, 12 free throws a game. Uh, and you have that kind of wider array of how to get to the basket now. And you're initiating that contact, forcing that contact. I think earlier in the season it was less, I don't want to call it one dimensional, but there were probably less dimensions to it than there is right now in terms of how JD can finish. We see him face up and kind of just go at a guy, a little, a little like kind of like a hezzy and get to his right to the basket. You saw him cook Mobley with that. It's kind of his signature move right now, but just the depth he's added to it. And the final thing I want to say about Jalen Duren pertains to his screen handoff game because that's something like I don't think once we've like given him praise for, but he's got to be elite in terms of handing the ball off and screening and like his like understanding with Cade in that it's not just a simple handoff. Like he'll put it between his legs and like know where Cade is gonna be. And I think that like his ability in that has just gotten really good, and that is crucial to him being successful and to us being successful. Like I can't underestimate and understate how big it is to be good in that handoff screen game.
Yeah, with
With
Dunk,
Yeah,
Cade,
yeah.
with Duncan,
it's
yeah.
really crazy. The chemistry's really developed. I gotta shout out JD. I gotta thank him a little bit. Watching Jalen Duren, especially this season, as a pickup basketball big man, obviously millions of levels below what he's doing. There's some moves that he does. I know you get pissed off, not pissed off about it, but bewildered that the left to right crossover into the layup works every time for him. I can confirm as a pickup big man, it works every time for me too, man. It's so overpowered. You just turn one direction, do one quick cross, and then just pick the ball up low, go sweep through. It's automatic. It's so easy to get points that way, and it's awesome. Thank you, JD. I've been adding his bag to my bag, at a much, 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 much lower level.
Catching any alley oops on the pick and roll.
Oh yeah, actually, I mean I lay him up, but I have been catching alley oops.
Yeah, like Val, you mentioned how dominant he was in the post, like against Orlando. It's no secret now. These past games, we have been absolutely ice cold from three. Well, we were like 3 for 30 last game or something. Um, I really wish we would have gone to JD Moore to initiate the offense. That first half was so brutal to watch. That was the worst thing I've ever seen, I think, this year for sure. Not just because it's Orlando Magic. Our offense was bad. We couldn't hit a shot. To just have him like not even put in action, just post up at like the Tobias Harris range. Because Mo Wagner, I love the guy. He cannot guard JD. He's way too little. Who's the other big they have? Their starter,
Wendell Carter.
Wendell Carter, is
He did a
also
pretty
he's
good
just too
job, I thought.
small. Yeah, but he's little. Like Duren didn't get Duren missed a lot of shots. I thought he went up kind of soft, but he didn't get in the post this game. I really wish we would have played with him when our team stinks like they did today or last night to play through him in the post. I think is a step we could add to make the offense a little bit more, I guess, less Cade heavy.
Yeah.
I One thing I mean maybe we'll make our way to it, but the way we isolate Tobias Harris in the clutch, especially when things are going a bit slower, I would love to see, and I thought about this in particular in Cleveland, not so much in Orlando because it was cooking, but against Cleveland, I would have loved to see like why not throw it to JD in the post and like I know the double likely come, but like I would love to just see him get the opportunity to go in the post and try to get a bucket the way we give Tobias Harris the opportunity sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else on JD, or do you want to kind of ask if you guys have any concerns about this recent slump? Is it more of a
Before we
short-term thing?
before
Yeah,
we
go
do,
ahead.
I want to stay on my praise wave because I think there's a guy that deserves, other than Cade, equal amount of praise as JD, and for me that's been Asar Thompson. I think Asar's been kind of next level since he and JB had that thing in San Antonio where he went under the screen. Um, 28 minutes, which is like relatively higher for Asar Thompson against OKC. Monstrous in terms of the stocks as usual. But against Cleveland, 35 minutes. And that third quarter against Cleveland, he was spectacular. He ended up with 18. I said one thing on our YouTube channel, though. I think his ability to be like a connecting passer has been at its peak right now. Such a threat, like getting downhill, but he's been just dumping it off to Jalen Duren, I think consistently and doing it at a really high level. But I mean, Greg Kelser also said it like we have such a such a privilege to have Asar Thompson's defense on our team, and it's difficult to grasp how good he really is on the defensive end. But recently, especially in the second half of games in the third quarters, I think he's been really finding a way to contribute to the offense, and as a result, he's been closing some games, and I think that's all we've ever been asking for from Asar Thompson right now. And it's just great that he's been getting it. I just think he's unlocked kind of another level of his game in the last couple of games for me.
Yeah,
He only 20 minutes last night, but they were some impactful 20 minutes. He closed the game as well, like you said, Valley, and he stripped Paolo, I don't know how many times.
Start to finish, yeah.
Yeah, start and yeah, his little in tight, quick passing when he cuts baseline, then like you mentioned, a quick flip to JD or Tehran, who's gonna cut through the paint as well. It's a really important part of our offense to not get stuck after Cade passes is up like late in the shot clock. But yeah, he had a monster block again last night. I want to see him against a healthy Harden. Hopefully they have their guys. And then again, I mentioned it before the last Spurs game. I want to see him on Victor a little bit coming up.
Um, yeah, I would love to see that. If I'm James Harden and I'm just coming off a thumb injury, no way I'm playing against the Pistons, who are the most active and like handsy hands in the league. I'm sitting that one out again.
Yeah, we'll see. So on to the 3-point shooting. Is this a case of teams figuring us out, staying close to Duncan and letting anybody else like take threes, or is it just us being cold?
There's no way we're 4 for 30 bad. There's no group of NBA players that I think are 4 for 30 bad. You
really.
can, I really don't think so. I know we're bad at shooting, but that's even for our percentages next level. I think I think it's what it is. If you addressed it as a concern earlier, it's still a concern for you. How I kind of view it is, and I think this is how Trajan views it. Like this is the squad, and we're gonna go as far as we can. Should we bow out at a point we deem not successful, I think we're gonna make a huge move, and I think that's the perfect way to do it. We'll see how it is in the playoffs. The truth is, I don't think none of us really know what's gonna happen in the playoffs. It could backfire. We could find a way to grade out a round or two or three. Follow-up question I have is like, what would be a successful series to you guys? But I think we'll see then, and we'll adjust from there. But I'm not worried about it. I don't think it's anything to worry over because we still find a way to win basketball games. We just played shooting that bad without Isaiah Stewart. We went 6-1 over the game Stu was out. I don't think we shot really good in any of those games. Like it's more impressive to me. We continue to find ways to win, especially even though shorthanded, which was mildly disappointing. In the Spurs and the not the Spurs, the Thunder and the OKC, we didn't get their full squad, but we still took them down. It's what we do. We find ways to win. We grit and we grind. That's our identity. It'd be great to make shots, but it's something I haven't been worried about the whole season, so I'm not going to be worried about it as we go into the playoffs, and it's just kind of what it is. And after you guys are done, I want to hear what a successful series or successful round would be for you guys, playoff round.
Yeah. And we mentioned last pod quickly that is the shooting on the bench. We saw Marcus get a couple games here where he kind of replaced Javonte Green's minutes, and he didn't do too well. I gotta say, he had a few kind of boneheaded turnovers against the Cavs. It was. So maybe it's not him. Maybe it is Red Velvet. Maybe it is Chaz to get a little bit of run here. But I'm excited for these last 20 games. And Connor, anything to add, or what's your expectations of a successful season in the playoffs?
Uh, I mean the shooting's bad. We all know that. That was pretty incredibly bad. But um, Dennis Jenkins, since getting the contract, I feel like is shooting 10%. I don't know the stats
Yeah.
exactly, but just doesn't make shots at all. That's definitely a contributor to the 3-point percentage being down. Is just that he doesn't hit anything at any point. Um, I guess that's a weak point, but I feel like that could also bounce back. Sasser could also bounce back. I mean, I'm not really worried about the shooting. Uh, we've won games, plenty of games where you shoot it about as bad as you possibly can. What's coming to my mind is the Hornets game, where they did shoot it about as bad as they possibly could, and the Hornets shot it as good as they possibly could, and we won that game. And that's just how they're gonna do it. I know people say it turns up in the playoffs, but so do foul calls go down in the playoffs as well. So it kind of
Yeah,
evens
we'll
out a
see.
little bit. To me, what I would be happy with is a competitive second round.
Yeah.
If it's
So we
against,
all agree we have to win the first round,
we
right?
got to win the first round. Like we can't be the first seed and get knocked out. That would be very disappointing. But if it's the second round, and how does the matchup go? It goes
4-5,
1-8,
right?
1-8 versus 4-5. Okay, then it would be the
That's Raptors Knicks right now, or
Raptors,
Raptors Cavs.
Knicks, Cavs.
Let's hope it'd be New York.
No, Knicks are
Um,
3,
Yeah, I know,
Cavs
but I think
4,
Knicks.
oh, my bad.
Raptors
Yeah, okay, it's
5.
Raptors,
Yeah,
Cavs.
yeah. So I mean, it's one of the Cavs, Knicks, Raptors, Sixers, one of those guys. And like you said,
Then I'm actually on. It should be the Eastern Conference Finals. If it's those matchups, I would be. It's like the Cavs maybe because they do have a nice squad, but like
depending on how we lose to them.
how we lose to them. But any other team, I would be disappointed if they don't beat the Raptors, the Knicks, or the Sixers in a series, right? So Eastern Conference Finals, I guess, is where I draw it.
Yeah, I guess a really competitive second round series, I would leave pretty happy with, and if it's like clear, like yeah, we're gonna upgrade our shooting. Basically, if it's one of those things. Realistically, I just want to see a playoff win. I think because that's the thing. I've never in my lifetime of a Pistons fan, I've never seen a playoff win. I wasn't there in those early 2000s years. So like I really just want to see a playoff win, and I think for me that would constitute a successful season. And then once we get there, we'll see how I feel. If we're playing the Knicks, I want revenge for last year.
I feel like I'm gonna get greedy. Like I feel that way, and then
Get
once
greedy.
we get one, I'm gonna get greedy.
But there is a realistic path that we're in the finals this year. Like that is a realistic path.
Oh, 100%.
And yeah, once we get there, I want to win the finals. Of course. Valley, do you have a different answer than that?
I gotta
I
go.
think
All right.
at the very worst, I'm looking for an extremely competitive second round series. I think we're capable of more, but when you look at OKC's trajectory, before they won the championship, their playoff run was losing. Was it in 6 or 7 games, second round?
I think so, yeah.
Before they moved off of Josh Giddey for Caruso, kind of shaped their team differently, and then won a championship and took more internal development. And I just kind of see a similar route. I see us having no issues in the first round, and then I start seeing the second round having potentially issues. But like it depends on who it is. If it's Toronto, like
They're
Bishop
not
just
getting out of the first round.
if it's New York, I'm taking the Pistons to win that comfortably. My really only concerns are the same. It is Cleveland. We just said off before we started recording that Cleveland. There's a growing belief that inside Cleveland they want the Pistons in the playoffs, that they can beat us, and all power to them. I think that's pretty reasonable. They took us down to the wire without Mitch and Harden. Um, but I think I lost my train of thought there. I don't know exactly where I was going, but I think I would like to see us get past the second round, ideally. But if it ends up us losing in 7 games to Cleveland in round two, I think that's something we can be incredibly proud of. Um, but I do think that if we don't go, say, to the conference finals and have a good conference finals, like if we get bullied out of the conference finals, I think a huge move is coming. I think this will be the summer where if we come up short in any capacity, we make a big move to get somebody. Because as it stands, current roster construction, there obviously are the concerns with the lack of shooting, long term. Maybe they were still, like you mentioned, maybe Marcus can come back. I thought he was kind of thrown out there in the second half. Still find a way to get some things done. Difficult to come into a game. I'm crying out for Chaz Lanier. He's lighting up the Motor City Cruise. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's doing keeping an eye on it, but just ridiculous stuff he's doing for the Cruise. I hope that, especially if we continue to grow our lead between first and second place standing wise, we have the luxury to be able to slot in some Chaz Lanier minutes and maybe see if that's an avenue he could even throw him into the playoffs a tiny bit. Um, Again, I have a random name I just want to throw out for you in the future is if this is a guy that would work for you because I've thought about it for a while. I'm really intrigued by the prospect of a Kyrie Irving. I, I just I just think he would be dang near perfect in terms of experience, shooting ability, and obviously ball handling ability and leadership to Cade. Um, I think that I think they'd be great connection, relationship wise, friendship wise, and I think he would be a really nice addition. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie's an absolutely amazing basketball player. We'll see how he returns. Because he won't play this year, I think. Or they've
I think he potentially could have
like
potentially,
there's no reason for him to play, right? Like they don't
yeah,
want to risk
but he'd be
anything. So
good
like
next
we
season.
don't know how he comes back, but I would assume he comes back good because that's what doctors are these days, and he takes care of his body. Yeah, a player like him, I've thought like I mentioned before some years ago, Donovan Mitchell would be just that guy
Yeah,
who we thought Ivy could be, right? Like explosive scoring guy to get some pressure off of Cade. Devin Booker is always right. He's always on my watch list to come back to Michigan after the Suns most likely aren't going to do anything this year either. But yeah, I mean we'll see as well internal growth right over the summer. I still have hope for Ron Holland to get a jump shot. That would be huge to have a wing with a jumper. But yeah, I agree. I still think there's a chance where in the playoffs that we're already almost at like the turn the intensity up a level. We're like we already turned the intensity up, so I don't know how much more we can go when other teams kind of match that a little more. I think it could be a problem for us. But I agree. I think we're all in agreement here. We want to win a series and then show our competitiveness to be a real team to challenge in the future. Shall we look ahead real quick to the next week?
I was gonna say because our next game is coincidentally the Cavs, who will have their number are coming for us. So I think we'll have heard that, and I think that'll be some motivation for us. I think it's huge to note this is the return of Isaiah Stewart. Really excited to see him back. Full strength Piston team is exciting. But yeah, we're away this week in Cleveland. We're away in San Antonio. Quickly home versus Brooklyn before ending away again in Miami. So it kind of eases up right there. After Miami, we have Brooklyn again. So something to look forward to after these two tough games. We didn't say anything about Orlando, by the way. Anything you want to say about them?
Yeah, if I went to hell, Orlando would be on the TV down there.
I only say that because we're because you're a big Orlando hater, and I wanted to get something in. Um, what are you looking out for this week? I think Cleveland's going to be an extremely exciting game.
Yeah,
Um,
and
but
all the guys, coach as well, they talked about they're gonna watch the film after the Spurs game because I
mhm.
think we all agree there's a lot of things that can be changed of how we attack. They just got blown out by the Knicks, so we'll see how they respond. That Spurs game, I'm gonna be up watching that one. That's gonna be an awesome game to see how both who two teams who will be at 100% going at each other really hard, and of course, like you said, Valley with Stewart again there. So yeah, that game is going to be amazing. Cavs as well. They want like, especially after that quote, they're going to want to come out and like teach us a lesson. I don't think it's going to happen. And then a nice break in Brooklyn, Miami as well, playing well now again. They have Tyler Hero back, but I think they're also too small. So I'm gonna say 4-0. Actually 3-1 with a loss to Miami.
To Miami.
Yeah.
So we take down Cleveland and San Antonio. I'm excited. I think this team wants all the smoke, and if somebody says something negative about them, I think that very much fires them up. I wonder what really gets this team going. Like, I know it's individual, but Danius Jenkins, like having a mental list of everybody that was drafted the year he wasn't. Like, I just wonder what else goes on. Like, oh, the Cavs said this about us. I
I'm
wonder if
sure,
Kate's getting
yeah.
together saying like, hell no. Um, one last cool thing I want to say about the Pistons. I think 3-1 this week. I'm a little worried we're gonna drop one of those games, by the way. I think Cleveland's gonna be a huge test. I weirdly feel a little confident about San Antonio with Isaiah back. Um, but I really want to beat both of those teams. We really have to prove that. Last thing I want to say is the tradition of passing the belt around. I don't know if you saw the Pistons giving it to equipment manager, who they call King.
Yeah.
Uh, really awesome. Just the depth of the camaraderie amongst the organization. I thought that was something that we should mention, but um, not much more to add here. I think Amit said the Pistons have to go 18-8 to win 60 games, and that was prior to our last two wins. So I think we're what? No, we're 15 away now from winning 60 basketball games, which is pretty crazy to imagine. We've surpassed the tally from
Yeah,
last year already. What
Yep.
were you gonna say?
And the Vegas over under.
And the
Exactly
Vegas
that.
over under, extremely important. And Phil Jackson's 40-20 rule, and we sit 5.5 games clear of first place with the game in hand on the Celtics right now. Anything else you want to add, Gabe?
Let's see if this shooting slump breaks.
Oh, let's hope it does. All right. Well, until the next time, Detroit, fill the buffs on because the future is bright.